Chuck, we've seen how the 76ers have evolved once they've added Jimmy Butler to their roster. He's been terrific, made a couple of game-winning shots. Ben Simmons had a triple-double last night. And Joel Embiid initially was playing at an MVP caliber clip, but very earlier in the year. What were your thoughts when he came out and he was talking about the fact that he was unhappy with his role and how he was being used by the coaching staff?
I was very disappointed, Jalen, because, listen, when you play with better players, you're going to get less shots. See, that's the thing that drives me crazy about, listen, when I got traded, now I hate to interject myself, when I got traded to Phoenix and I got Dan Marley and Kevin Johnson, I thought I had died and gone to heaven. When I was on the Sixers and I playing with a bunch of bums, I had to get 35 to 40 a night and get every rebound, and we wasn't any good. That was frustrating. So I'm disappointed, Joel. Listen, when you get better players, you're going to get less shots. I bet if you go back and look at the numbers, I bet you that Steph and Clay get less shots since KD came there. But they are a much better team since KD got there. And it disappointed me that Joel is more worried about his personal numbers than the team being better, because they're clearly better with Jimmy Butler. So I was disappointed in his statements.
They've been up and down this year. Toronto has been terrific. Milwaukee has been terrific. And I think there is still sort of a belief that by the time it's all said and done, the Celtics are going to wind up being the team to beat in the East. Who do you believe in behind them? Which of those other teams that are off to great starts do you believe in to give Boston a hard time in the East?
Well, I think Toronto's the best team in the East. I think what Kawhi did was, Mike, and Jalen would know this from playing in the NBA, when you have a superstar, it raises you. Everybody walks around with their chest poked out. DeRozan's a good player, a terrific player, but he's not Kawhi Leonard. What Kawhi Leonard has done for the Toronto Raptors, everybody else walk around behind him, and he's the guy, he's the leader. So Toronto, in my opinion, is the best team in the East. The Sixers are very good. The Celtics are very good, and you got the Bucks. That's pretty much it. It's a 4-team race, but I think Toronto's the front runner.
And Charles, before we let you go, I think probably most people saw this story over the weekend that went viral, and you know what I'm referring to, the story about your longstanding friendship that was not public, and it was not with a public person, and when that gentleman died, his daughter wrote a beautiful piece about your friendship and how much it meant to her, how much it meant to her father. And the reaction to it was just astonishing. It felt for a few hours on Saturday as though everyone in America was talking about it. I'd love to hear your personal feelings on that now and your reaction to the reaction that the story received.
Well, Greeny, it was I've been in the NBA since 1984. I've never gotten a better response or a more positive response of anything I've done in my life than that story with Lin. And man, Greeny, when you are famous, man, there's so many people who want something from you. That's the thing that sucks about sports. And Jalen knows this, Maria knows this too. The one thing that sucks about being rich and famous, everybody's grabbing at you all the time. And to meet a man who didn't want anything, did not want anything from me, just had a pure heart and was just a friend, man, it meant a lot to me. Just to have somebody who didn't care I was Charles Barkley, never asked me for money, was just like, hey, we're friends, we're going to hang out. It meant the world to me. And his family, I love his family, and I miss him because, like I said, he one of the great people I've met in my life. And I want to thank everybody out there who sent me a text. Adam Silver sent me a text, Tim Frank, Richard Doris from the Atlantic. Everybody, I'm not exaggerating, I got at least close to 1,000 texts on that story. And I want to thank everybody who sent me a text because to me, it was more about Lin than about myself.